Alright, we just got the 2010 Vantage green truck delivered, and as you can see, it is in perfect condition. It's not. It's definitely seen some better days, sat in a lot for many years, but we're going to pull it into the shop and start taking a look at it, see if we can get it moving. So we get the truck pulled into the shop now, and we're just going to start going through it and start cleaning up the bed and get all the pieces sorted. The bed is definitely going to need some repair if we decide to go that direction, but should be a fun little project. So I just got the bed cleaned up a bit. Had a bunch of dirt in there, which I'm assuming is what caused all that rust. Just hit those bolts with some cleaner just to get those undone. And we're going to continue around, hit the front now. So it looks as if the hood might have been hit in at some point. Pops open, but it doesn't swing up, so we're not going to force it. I'm just going to move to the inside and see if we can get the hinges, get at the hinges from the other side. Back out working on the Vantage green truck today. Got kicked out of the shop, so we're going to have to make do with the good old lean-to here. First job on the truck today is we're going to go ahead and try to take this bed off. Should be able to fold down all three sides here. Those come out, and then there should just be a couple bolts down there. We'll hit with a little PB blaster, and hopefully they come off pretty well. Then keep digging into it after that. Main first job is we're going to try to get the batteries out, get them charged, and see if we can get the motor moving. All the bolts for the bed came out pretty easy, and the bed's sides just slid right back. Actually not too bad. You can handle them all by hand. And so the bed's totally loose now, and we're going to try to kind of just lift it off. We might be able to also do that by hand, given all the rust and all the weight that we pulled off with taking the sides off. So we're going to go ahead and take that off now. So we just got the bed pulled off. It was actually easy enough to just handle by myself. So just taking a look down, see what we have underneath. So the big drive motor out back, connected directly to the shaft there, right out to each wheel. And then we have the big charger and the Curtis controller. And right off back there is the big 800-pound lead acid battery pack, which assuming is the main issue in question at the moment. So we're just gonna keep kind of cleaning it up, take some of this dust off the rear of the frame, get it a little better condition, and then see about attacking the batteries. And probably gonna take each battery out. There's 6 batteries total. They each weigh about 120 pounds. We're gonna take them out individually and take a look at each of them and check their condition, see if any of them will take a charge. I'm not too sure at this point, but I'm gonna keep going from there. Before I started tearing into things any further, I wanted to do a quick walk around and show off the components that this was built with. They're all pretty decent quality components. I mean, at this point, minus the battery pack, which is fully lead acid. Plans are going to be to upgrade that with a much larger pack and hopefully go to something a bit lighter too. But start off back here with a big 3-phase AC induction motor, and that's hooked right over to the Curtis, I believe it's a 550 amp controller. To the left of the controller is a QE Delta Q charger, which appears to have maybe a 240 volt fast charge that's coming in on the right side there, and then there's also a 110 plug that's run out to the front that's up under the hood. Up here you can see 3 of the large 12 volt lead acid batteries, and there's 3 more of those up in front. And if we go into the cab, standard little cab up front here. I have pulled the seats already, but you can see the other few batteries that run right up above the seats. Down here we have the DC to DC controller, Just going to allow us to charge the 12-volt system. And then over on the other side there is a bit more circuitry. Not 100% sure what that's doing just yet. Haven't taken a look at it. But other than that, that's just about it. You have some basic radio heat controls and everything up front, as well as the pump for the brakes sits up front under the hood. Still haven't been able to get that one open, so we're going to have to look at that in a little bit. But now we're going to try to get into these batteries here. Looks like there's a rear plate that's held on with those 4 bolts. I'm going to try to take that off. I believe that's holding them down with 3 bolts on the back there. Look like some sort of adjustment to keep them tight. So we're going to start disconnecting everything there and see if we can get the batteries out. So getting into further, it looks like those 4 bolts that are bolting that top bar down is actually what's holding the whole pack in. It's not just supporting the batteries in the top, which looking at it further makes sense because this cross member down in here is pretty thin, so just to give it a little bit extra support for all that weight. So what we're going to actually do is pause here, go ahead and disconnect the wiring, and then see if we might be able to just put some support under the pack and just drop the whole pack together, opposed to taking them out one by one. See how we go. Got another rainy day to work on the little green truck down here. Yesterday I was able to actually get one of the batteries out, sitting on over sawhorse over there. Pretty heavy unit, but now that the first one's out, the rest of them should be pretty easy. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in and try to get them out. Show you the opening. The first one came right out of the middle here, lifted right up, basically vertical, and then slid right out, which was the best way to get it. So we're gonna go ahead and take the remaining 5 now. Just got the other 2 front batteries out, and underneath looks like there's some sort of heat pad. I don't know if that was aftermarket or if it came with it. This module right here shows hot start, and it is tied right into some of the main looms. So I believe it was some sort of feature to help warm the batteries up in colder temperature. Kind of a cool little addition there. And I'm gonna keep charging at it and try to get the remaining 3 batteries out back there. All the batteries have been cleared out of the pack, and underneath there were a few of these red heat pads, and then the whole unit was actually just sitting on a piece of styrofoam, basically some kind of house sheathing material. It looks like totally waterlogged, so that's going to get replaced. And here are all 6 of the batteries sitting out. We'll take those out, kind of probably take them up in the shop and clean them up and test them out. I doubt any of them are good still, but who knows, we might get lucky. And we'll take a look at them, and that'll probably be in a part 2 video. But for now, we're gonna take a look, continue around the front of the truck, and try to attack the hood again. And the hood here, if you remember from the previous clip, the hood was getting stuck up at the latches on both sides, and it's been soaking with PB Blaster for a couple days, but still doesn't want to pop open freely. I don't want to bend it. It's pretty thin sheet metal all around actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the wiper arms off and just give me a little bit of clearance. Looks like it was coming in contact a little bit right here. Might have been hit at one point, but I'm gonna spend a little time try to get that open. Here we go. We have success. The hood actually popped up rather easily after I took both the wipers off, gave us a little bit of clearance. It does look like it's been moved or hit or something. It's not, doesn't open with much clearance at all actually, but we'll tackle that when we get there. And tracing it back, it looks like those heat pads were actually all running off this one line, just a 110 outlet. Not sure if that was an addition now, or having looking at this bracket, this looks like it was meant to be here, so might have been part of the truck actually when it came. But everything else out here, we have the windshield wiper motor up front, the reservoir for some washer fluid, brakes poking through a little bit of the I guess firewall you could call it, that's about it. Thank you for watching the entire first Savvy Sprocket YouTube video. If you enjoyed it and you would like to see the entire build, go ahead and subscribe. Our little green truck will drive again soon.